And we're going live. Yeah, we're just happy we got it to work. Welcome to the Nerd Brothers. We're back. Episode 4. Yeah.
Back at it.
Back at it.
Nice.
Same group of nerds doing nerdy stuff once again. Got some cool nerdy stuff to talk about as well. But we were talking off camera. We usually, we might indulge in a few beverages before the show. We were talking about, I was out back watching, these ghost movies or ghost shows and stuff. And now, you gotta, there's a show, I'm sure if you guys watch any of that paranormal stuff, there's a show called Ghost Adventures. And a lot of people like it. I'm not going to get into politics of that right now, but apparently if you want to watch that show, you have to get Disney or Discovery Plus for $5. You can't even, it's not on cable anymore. You have to subscribe to it. We were just talking about how out of hand this is all getting. So what were you saying about it?
Well, I think because I've been kind of on the fence of the Shudder. I'm a big horror geek. I've been wanting.
Well, explain to them what Shudder is.
Well, Shudder is just like a horror genre type of
Netflix app
or whatever. So you can get that a monthly subscription or yearly subscription, what have you, and you have access to all different types of horror films or horror TV series, whatnot. I'm a big Creepshow fan. The old Stephen King movies back in the 80s. So they redid a TV show with that, which I've been wanting to get into, and I feel guilty about not getting into it, watching it. Due to the horror geek that I am, I feel hypocritical because I haven't watched it, but I'm iffy about getting the app. So I don't want to get the app and watch this show, and then everything else sucks.
I'm a whore when it comes to the apps. Right. Not horror. I'm a whore when it comes to the apps because I will buy it for a certain, like we were talking earlier, like Game of Thrones. I got the app for, HBO, and Game of Thrones left for 2 years before the last season, and I didn't have it. I dumped it.
You left it.
Dumped it.
Yeah.
And I'll do that with a lot of apps. I'll use it just for what I want and then dump it again. And I think a lot of people do. I don't think any. I mean, Disney. Yeah, I'm kind of grandfathered into that $6.99, I guess, or whatever. But that's the only one I've actually kept, and that's because I have kids.
But I think a lot of folks, when they sign up for those subscriptions, they just forget. It's there's another $10
if it's a $5.99, that's not going to hurt you. But those $15, $20 apps hit and they hurt you. I mean,
when you add them all up, yeah.
Yeah.
Because now you got all these special services that want you to get it. I mean, now there's Discovery, there's Disney,
lots of them.
Hulu, Netflix.
Well, I'm trying to get whoever has AMC, I'm trying to get that app so I can catch up to Walking Dead, and then I'll dump it after. I mean, I thought that's what everyone did. I don't know anyone that actually.
That's the smart thing to do, but I don't think a lot of people are actually picking up on that. Because they're getting it, say for instance, like the Netflix. You're getting it because you think there's so much other content out there that you're going to be watching. But once you're done watching that particular show that you got it for, I think you realize that all the stuff that you're trying to watch is garbage. You have virtually no interest in it.
Yeah.
You'll spend, as we were talking beforehand, you'll just spend time and time again looking for something that piques your interest, and there's virtually nothing there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you resort to something else. And
not just, you just don't sit on Netflix. You'll sit on Netflix and Hulu and Disney and Amazon Prime, and you'll go through all of them not finding anything to watch. You're like, Jesus.
But those are the ones that I've kept probably the most. Disney, since it came out, I've had my Amazon Prime for years.
Yeah. If they were smart, I think they wouldn't let you binge something. I think they should make it like TV, week to week. Well, and then it forces you to keep it. Well, don't ever do, please, because I like binging.
Who just did that recently?
Disney does that because
Mandalorian.
Which is smart. That's actually smart.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's basically by week. And I actually did watch the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
So I watched that. And then
that reboot. Yeah.
For me, I expected to watch episode 2. But it wasn't there because it was per week.
Disney's smart.
Thinking, man.
Yeah, I was wondering why they don't do that. I'm like, and I'm not going to complain because I'm like, I don't want them to because I'm the guy who dump some as soon as I watch what I want.
Right.
But my question, now that you're so used to binging, does it bother you that you couldn't binge it?
Actually, at the time it did.
It did. Isn't that weird how you can like, okay, listen, I don't normally like to binge, but dude, I want the show.
I want to
now.
binge this one, yes.
Yeah,
I wanted
right.
to. I look at it and I said, I should have the option to binge or not binge. I should have the control. Like, if I want to watch it, I should have own
Go into the
self-control to do it.
go in the parental control setting and turn off turning binging back on. Dude, I'm an adult, man. I pay for this. If I want to binge it, I can.
Yeah.
But
I get it.
But you'll regret it.
Yeah.
Once you binged out for 8 hours and
Well, yeah, that's the part that hurts because like you binge something that you really want to watch and then you got to wait a year for the next season. Or
then it's over,
know?
and you don't.
Yeah, and you got to wait forever. It's like, oh, this is
Like all
I should have milked it.
the cool conversations we had with Lost and Game of Thrones, where you got to wait a week in between the episodes because you talk to your buddies about it.
Yeah,
and you discuss it, and there's just you get like more of a. I don't know. You get to enjoy it a little more.
Yeah. Plus, if you're discussing with your friends and stuff about a show, like they might bring up something you missed, or you rewatch it again, like
because you get to ponder on it more.
Yeah,
you get more time to think about it. Because let's say you just watch, say for Stranger Things, for instance, if you watch one episode, you don't really have time to think about that episode because you're going right into episode 2.
Yeah,
so you don't get to think about it and actually break it down like you would if it was week to week. So going into episode 2. Episode 1 is already in the back burner. So it's just such an in the now moment. I think that's kind of where we're at now. So you don't really get to think back about what actually happened on the episode before. And I think that's just kind of a downfall of
for me, I mean, a lot of these shows are, mainstream, really popular. And I like the fact how they do, like, everyone's kind of doing like a Talking Dead now.
Yeah.
For everything, and I think that's cool. I mean, it gives you
can break it down.
Yeah, exactly. You get to break it down after the show. So, and dude, they're making more money. Now you're watching 2 shows, back to back.
Which I find strange is like when you watch like The Curse of Oak Island, when they do the behind the scenes, it's like, come on, like seriously, is it necessary? Because everybody knows there's nothing there. Everybody knows what's going on. So I understand when it comes down to like The Walking Dead and
I think there's something there.
Well, there's something there, but they're not going to leak it because that's going to cut into the show.
Well, if there was any good content to put on the show, they would have put it on the show.
Exactly. So they're not going to like. There's no stay tuned moments. No. I don't think so. I don't. I think it's a bad.
Did Marty Lagina say something really funny? Oh, and we didn't put it on. I just like no, I don't.
It's dry. It's boring. I've watched it. It's like saying, I understand the talking heads. That makes sense. But when it comes down to that, I think so. Yeah.
So we got a dog bark in the background,
and I think that is your dog.
I have a dog, man.
But he's outside.
Dude, I don't have a dog.
You're the man now, dog.
He should have never been left.
I think one of the brothers is going to have to take a break.
Shit.
And he's a big pit bull in the street, so we can't have him roaming the neighborhood.
I'm going to mute my mic.
Who let the dogs out?
Actually, it was Woo.
But
you let him out of the room. I saw you do it.
But yeah, I just think there are certain shows that can get away with the like the talking heads. I just don't think the Curse of Oak Island is going to get away with that. So
yeah,
I like that they talk about shows, they break them down, which is actually great because you get to have a better understanding of what happened in that episode, different fan perspective.
Yeah,
So
did you break down and get Shudder, or are you still
No. I plan on getting it. I'm contemplating because I just don't know if I want to spend the money because I want to watch.
How much is it?
I hear it's like $60 a year, which is
I thought you were going to say a month. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad, yeah. I was actually going to get it last night. I was debating it, but
I see a lot of like, okay, for instance, me, like I would probably get that in October for Halloween.
I was thinking the same thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the majority of people probably would just okay, I'm gonna get it during Halloween, watch crap ton of horror movies and cut. You know what I mean? That's me. My kids have so many. I mean, I have so many apps for my kids that's like, dude, it's not cheap for me. It's like, that's why we cut. we got rid of the cable. So.
And that's why I think what's going on now, because there's so many of these streaming services out there.
It's adding back up.
It all adds up. And let's say hypothetical, if you have DirecTV, if you were an NFL fan, then you got to have the ticket.
Oh yeah.
And then that's when that all kind of bolts together.
Ticket, red zone, whatever. I mean, whatever you can afford, whatever.
You're kind of like screwed financially because you're paying a lot of money to watch TV.
And I think the only people who get screwed with that is people with teams out of state or it sucks for them. Like me, I'm lucky. I live in I'm a fan of a local team, so I don't have to worry about that. But I feel sorry for people who have to pay $500 a year for a service, and then you don't even get to watch all the games, really. I mean,
yeah.
Well, yeah, because you can only watch a couple one at a time.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess you could.
Don't get me wrong. You have the choice of your,
You could actually record them on your hard drive, your DVR, but
a lot of it is in the now. You want to watch it in the now.
Yeah.
True.
So I mean, sure, you got the options, but in this day and age where you got your telephone, where you can you're in the now.
Right.
Now. You can't escape it. So it's kind of hard not to know what's going on. So that's what's kind of the shitty part of having the phone and being a sports fan, because it's kind of hard to avoid the outcome of a game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Unless it's just a game you really want to watch, even if you knew the outcome. So, depends.
Yeah, I watch games, or a playoff game that I missed, and I'm like, oh, I missed it. It looks really good. I'll watch it even though I know who won.
I agree.
Good game's good game.
Most of the time, you're going to watch your favorite team and what other game's on while you're waiting.
So I just look at it like at the end of the day, streaming services are bad, DirecTV's bad, or just satellite, and same thing with cable. You don't get screwed regardless. So I know when the streaming service first came out, they seemed good because they were cheap, but if you build them all up, they're costing just as much as the corporate monsters out there. So
yeah.
At the end of the day, once you add it all up, it's getting pretty pricey. So.
Oh yeah.
In a perfect world, I guess you could just keep your basic cable, and then get your favorite streaming services and try to keep your bill down as low as possible.
And I still haven't understood why they just don't let you pick and choose what you want to watch.
I know, we were talking about that earlier.
Charge you accordingly. I mean, I don't want to watch these 150 channels. I want maybe a dozen channels. That's it.
How much for 5 channels?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I want to get the Disney Channel, okay, I get the Disney Channel. That's going to be an extra $10. If I want to get Netflix, that's an extra $10. If I want to get Amazon, that's an extra $10. That there kind of makes sense, because if you're paying for DirecTV, you're still paying $100.
Yeah.
It's about $80, $70 for the basic necessities of it
before the ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even your even your internet now, it's like, remember cable and internet, they do a package. Oh, okay, we're gonna make it cheaper now because you're packaging them together. For people who cut, now your cable just tripled, quadrupled in price.
Yeah, if you
before you're streaming,
you got to make sure you get unlimited internet data, because if you don't and you're a cord cutter, because you
can spend as much as on
we
just
saw
internet.
Our bill go up. This was a couple years ago.
Yeah,
and we had God, what was it? I'm trying to remember. AT&T. And it over doubled in price because the data charges.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you go up a certain amount of gigs, $25. $25. So it's supposed to be like a $45 a month internet.
Yeah.
Goes up to like $150.
It was like when cell phones first came out. They were charging you by the minute.
Yeah, but now we got Xfinity, super high speed gigabit internet, and it's unlimited data. So
yeah. We had to upgrade to unlimited because I think we just moved. We got AT&T, and
they got fiber now. So.
We overhit our mark in 2 weeks. They're like, and they let us do it for free because they're like, well, if you want to upgrade now, you can. We're not going to hit you with So we did, but we went over the mark in 2 weeks. It was easily
wow,
by far. everyone's streaming. Everyone's everyone's got a TV in their room.
And
Nothing's hardwired anymore nowadays. So everyone's on Wi-Fi. I think I'm like one of the few that still hardwires because I like to game and stuff, and it's better connection. But everyone else is.
That's still going to take data, though.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. They're charging us for
Cool, because they're charging you for that. They're charging you for all the streaming services. So they're basically fucking.
That's what. So we're probably, even before we were talking outside, we're probably just thinking about just the apps, not even the paying for the actual internet
on the
yet.
show today.
So, you got to think about not just the cable, which would be 180 or 200, whatever the hell they're charging you. Internet alone is can be 100, 120, 130. Then your apps come in.
Alone. Yes, we're not talking about I like Disney. Oh, I like Amazon. Oh, I really like Netflix because they got a few good shows.
Unless you're just watching on your phone and maybe streaming it to your TV or something from your phone, but. If you're not, then you.
But look at it like when you have a smart TV, okay, right when you turn it on, guess what's there? All the apps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like they're there.
Yeah.
It's just like,
watch me.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's they're all in cahoots with each other.
Sure.
So it's not there for a reason. So you think
it's like talking on your phone and saying, "Man, I need a saw," and then you're seeing saws everywhere you go now. That's what your TV's doing now too. You're like, "Wait, what?"
I mean, it's not a coincidence.
You could talk about a movie and then go turn on your TV, and there's an app with that movie that's playing.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think about. Like, man, it's a magnet, and they're trying to draw you in.
Yeah,
or you're getting drawn towards them.
Yeah,
better perspective.
And I think that goes for everyone. Like I said, I'll buy and dump.
Well, that is smart.
And I think that's just for me, who I like specific things. For someone else, maybe they like something else. So they're probably never losing money, really. It's not that they're not just there for like some mainstream show. Maybe they're using it for something else. So,
people like their
someone leaves, someone comes back.
Yeah,
because I mean, if you like it, if you just want to flip through Netflix all day long and look for maybe this non-existing, literally it's non-existing. Because I don't know how many DVDs or VHS that I've had over the years, and I would like be bored on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I just go looking through all my catalog, and I'm like, these all suck.
They all
suck. Why did I buy all these? This is a waste of money. I've already seen this. Why did I buy this?
I don't want to watch any of these movies.
These all.
Why did I buy these?
Well, I think the majority of us we went from VHS to, and then we buy the same movie on DVD. Then we bought the same movie on Blu-ray or HD, and we just keep buying the same movie over and over.
It's insanity.
Yeah,
it is.
It's like
just
watch it on your VCR. You seen it already.
You probably have no desire to see it again, but you bought it because you thought you liked it, but then you probably didn't like it, and it's just shitty.
That's why I miss
but it's going to look so much better on DVD.
Yeah, but that
it's
also
going to look
makes
so much better on Blu-ray, and then oh, dude, 4K. This is going to be the best Back to the Future ones ever looked.
And then you're going to go buy a 4K movie, and then 8K comes out, and then you're going to do it all over again.
Oh, that's insanity.
Yeah,
that's when I just stopped. Once the 4K came out,
I stopped after Blu-ray. Yeah, I stopped after Blu-ray.
I was like, money into the DVDs, and with Blu-ray, I was like, all right, I'll buy a few of these, and I'm like, I don't really see a difference, so what's the point?
Yeah. I stopped at Blu-ray. I was like, I can't keep doing it. I'm not going to start a collection over and over and over. That's insane.
Going up.
Yeah, they do.
And I think if you bought it digitally, on like your console, maybe just get the free upgrades as long as you own it. You never know.
But the thing is, if you have that option, but if you do buy it like digitally, it's still the same price.
Sure.
So I understand if you say if you were to buy like a Back to the Future, so to speak, if it came with the free upgrades, that'd be awesome. Maybe that is the future. But as of now,
I doubt it.
It's not because they're not going to make any money.
I mean, how about
Universal needs to make money, Paramount needs to make money, Disney needs to make money.
But I mean, if you bought the damn thing charge me $2 for the 4K. Charge me $2 more when the 8K comes out.
Yeah,
charge
for
me,
like what? Like
charge me, whatever futuristic.
What do they call that?
Come out.
They call it upscaling.
Upscaling.
Just give me the free upscaling.
That's when digital.
Change me a buck or two.
I'll give you $1 or $2. Whatever.
That's when digital downloads are like the official thing. That's when physical copies out of the loop. I think once that comes,
we're not that far off.
But that's when that comes. Definitely, it's just like the download.
Yeah.
It's just like when you get your video games, you just update it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the future, but as of now, it's not. We'll see.
Nah, they're all making
We'll see how it's going to be.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're 20 minutes in this topic. We got some other good ones too. I think you guys will be super excited about this one. So, I know we talked about a little bit last week about the Godzilla, the new one.
Have you seen it?
Godzilla.
Anybody seen it?
Go ahead, because I'm not a huge fan
I've
of
seen it.
Godzilla.
I haven't seen it either.
I'm going to see it next weekend with my kid.
Yeah.
We're in California, so we're kind of limited with our theater access.
Yeah.
But there's some exciting news about the Godzilla. Apparently, the director, his name is Adam Wingard. He's tagged to be the writer and director for a Thundercats movie, and I know there's a couple big.
No, not the Thundercats movie. He's linked to direct the Thundercats movie.
Oh, just linked.
Linked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's linked to do that.
Which would be awesome. I think, was that last week we were talking about this? Or? Yeah. I'm.
So when you look at that, like a guy that's, because me being like a horror geek that I am, he directed the latest Blood Rich project.
Mm-hmm.
He did VH1, VH2, so he's kind of a horror geeky kind of guy, but he's kind of progressed into a mainstream type of Hollywood director. I mean, if you're doing King versus,
I don't care who does it because they needed it this long time ago. So,
but this here is a big director doing this or is linked to this. I think it's pretty freaking big.
No, yeah, I'm
pretty
stoked.
freaking big.
Yeah,
So I think with that,
it's not rumors or something.
So if we can get a guy like that that's going to bring in an 80s cartoon movie, I think that's exciting. I thought that was exciting because we're going to have a pretty big director from a pretty big movie bringing in one of these. I could see if it was someone who's just going to go straight to Netflix or Amazon. That'd be kind of concerning to me. Or if it's just going to be a TV show, but if it's going to be a movie.
Are they going to do Godzilla like in King Kong, or
what do you mean?
The movie he's doing now.
That is the one.
Godzilla?
Godzilla King Kong.
Oh, it is versus. It's not just Godzilla.
Well,
no, the movie is Godzilla versus King Kong. We're talking about that director.
Yeah,
is linked to.
That's one in theaters right now.
Thundercats. Yeah. But what my brother was talking about, which he was right, but it's the writer director, which is Adam Wingard. He's going to write and direct the Face Off 2.
You're talking about Face Off 2?
Yes.
Okay. So I got that backwards.
Yeah, that's Face Off 2.
So he's...
Same guy, though.
Same guy, but...
Busy man.
He's a bit... I was going to say...
So he's for sure do that, Face Off 2, and the Thundercats is just...
it's rumored, exactly. It's just rumored. That's speculation right now.
Face Off 2, like...
Thank you for
a remake, or like...
We just don't want to get, in trouble with anybody. Yeah. So, it's just a rumor. He's linked to that. But the Face Off 2 thing is...
Writing and directing it.
And
whoa. I got a question. Is it a remake, or is it real the original actors?
I think it's supposed to be a sequel with the original actors.
No kidding.
Because he's like a big John Woo fan.
Yeah.
Who directed it. And he's writing it basically verbatim to how the last movie was. So he's pretty vested into keeping the story going.
Yeah.
So from what I've read, he's writing it.
So John Travolta's going to be in this?
He's going to submit it to Nick Cage and Travolta. If they like the movie, they said they're down with it.
Yeah.
But they want to see how the script's going to go.
Yeah,
so that there is big.
Well, Nicolas Cage probably do any job right now, but I mean,
John Travolta's probably. I was talking to him, my brother, about it yesterday. He was kind of iffy about it. Like, it's probably going to be straight to video. Back in the day, it was straight to video, but nowadays it'd be straight to Amazon. But when you got the director for Godzilla versus Kong.
Mm-hmm.
That's big.
Yeah.
So this year is going straight to... This year is going to be a blockbuster movie because they're going to put money into it.
My concern was just, do they have the draw power that they used to have back then?
The actors or the
actors? Yeah.
I think that's like, yeah, I would say so. Everyone wants to see that kind of stuff still.
Yes, I think they have
for me, it's like, are they going to de-age them, like, or anything like that, or?
I don't think you should.
Because the draw power, as I was discussed yesterday, I think the draw power is there if the movie's right. Nobody wants to see John Travolta as a
bald,
as a telephone worker,
yeah.
or Nick Cage as a whatever he is in his last 15 films. Nobody cares, but if he's going to portray a familiar role, I think he's good. Everybody wants to see Rocky. Everybody wants to see Rambo. Yeah. They want to see the familiar role. I don't think they want to see them out of character because they know them as a character.
Yeah.
You know? So that's how I just look at it.
Die Hards. Die Hard,
yeah. Nobody wants to see Bruce Willis play a rom-com, a sweetheart as a father. Nobody wants to see that. Anybody can cast that.
So. What about Look Who's Talking? I'd be down for a new one of those.
I think that's
just the voiceovers. I thought that was funny.
That's when Travolta was in limbo. That's when he didn't matter. What brought him back to the scene?
Wasn't Bruce Willis in that too?
Yeah, he was in that. But nobody cared.
Wasn't he a voiceover?
He was the voice of the baby or something like that.
Yeah, John Travolta.
No, he was
Bruce Willis, Roseanne.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just voiced the kids.
Yeah.
Travolta and Chris.
None of them are actually in the movie. They're just voices. Yeah.
But nobody cared. That's when he's in limbo. Nobody cared about Travolta again until Pulp Fiction. That's just the way it is.
That's like the Lion King live action version.
Oh, jeez.
That's talk for another day.
Was it that bad of an idea?
We'll talk about that some other time. But no, as far as that, after hearing, you guys talk about it, it makes me think if it did that well back then, and we're all still alive, most of us anyways, right? They'd all go to that movie again.
Yeah, exactly. I think so.
You changed my mind, man. I'm on your side.
And just think with the technology now, because we were talking about this yesterday, it's like, I was kind of on the fence, like maybe they won't spend money on it, but when I found out that it was going to be like a big budget, I just think that, man, if they drop more money in it, it could even be better.
Yeah.
Because the sarcasm was there, very comedic, very action-packed.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with the aging of the actors. I still think they can portray their characters. I don't think they should recast. I think recasting would be a horrible decision. I think That's
what I was wondering, because I was like, if they recast them, I don't know if I want to see that.
No, if you recast, then I'm totally out.
I would be out, yeah.
So I was just thinking when you guys talking about some of the lines from that movie, and it's like, when they swapped the faces, and Travolta had to try to act like his enemy.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what's your name? Castor Troy.
Castor Troy.
He's like, say it better. Castor Troy. He's like, no, you got to do it more.
I'm fucking Castor Troy.
You're a peach. You're a peach.
So I can eat a peach for hours.
I have to rewatch that soon.
It's a good movie. That's why we're talking about the next one, because
I'm going to say, though, it's probably been 20 years since I watched it.
It's been 20 years since it was made.
Yeah.
Like, there's like some good movies out there that I just don't overwatch. That was probably on HBO probably every week, though. I probably did.
It's something you see
at some point.
You'll see that. You'll see, like, Con Air. You'll see, old stuff like that. Yeah.
So at some point, you just, like, great movie, but you just stop watching it.
Bad Boys.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
You can't just watch the same shit over and over.
No. Like, I'll watch Bad Boys once in a great while.
But it's due for a rewatch. I haven't watched it in 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
But it's due for a rewatch. And, when I seen the article on that, and I kind of like it, it's like, wow, this here is fascinating. I'm intrigued by it. I'm intrigued by the director. I'm intrigued by the story and what they plan on doing with it. They're not trying to rewrite it like the Star Wars. They're not trying to saying, we're going to erase the past, we're going to rewrite it, and we're going to cast new characters.
Our kids are one's a villain and one's a cop, and they're going to go do this stuff, No.
Well, obviously
they
would have to have their faces swapped again.
Right. Yeah.
Hence the name. And they'd be like, oh shit, again.
Like shit, 20 years later, we're doing
again.
This yeah.
Yeah.
What are the odds, right? I mean, most people only swap faces once in a lifetime.
But then you get like a Halloween, and I say, oh my god, it's Halloween again, and I'm getting attacked by this psychopathic maniac on Halloween again. You know, so it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, that's La La Land. So when you watch the films, it's just something you're going to escape. So.
Yeah.
As long as they make it good, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting. I mean,
It's
we
something
need some of those lighthearted, if you want to call that lighthearted,
Well, I mean,
Hollywood films. You know, back in the day, those were just good popcorn movies. You know,
yeah.
and I mean that in a good way. So,
Well, it's just good that they're. This movie's actually being talked about by a mainstream director. But is it going straight to Amazon Prime, straight to the video?
well, look how long it took Top Gun 2, Top Gun 2, how long they talked about it, worked on it, and it finally came to
decades?
fruition. So,
Yeah.
it's 2
30
decades.
years.
Yeah.
So, it's doable. It's definitely doable.
Do it while the guys are available to do
Is
it.
Val going to
Yeah.
fit in the cockpit? Like,
I don't know if Val's. All I know is Val's in the movie. But not much, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'll come out this summer, so that'll be cool. I think, unless that
who's
got
going to be
pushed
who's
back.
wingman?
Goose's son.
Goose's son?
Yeah.
Is that what they said already? Spoiler alert, sorry.
Spoiler alert. Well, it's not a spoiler alert. I think it's like in the trailer. Do your research, man.
Still.
Don't listen to me, man. Don't
You
listen
know
to
me.
us.
Okay, so I'm the guy who I do not want to see any previews at all because I don't. Especially if it's a
'Cause you can break down the
blockbuster
movie.
Well,
that I
then
don't
you
want
should
to
have
see.
it.
That I want to see. I don't want to see the. Yeah, I don't want to see the.
You're
You can break down the trailer and just like
But Ray's-
beginning, middle,
Ray's
and
direct
end.
question
I'm
is, well,
like, I don't want to see. I'm like, ugh.
Man, don't ask
Yeah,
questions.
I want to be
you don't
so.
want
I want to be
answers
so surprised. Like when I go see a movie. Yeah, I try not to watch.
I
trailers.
stopped watching trailers 15 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Because when I watch them, I already know the movie.
Yeah.
I already know the
Like
movie.
Chris
I don't
with like Deadpool, like he knew the whole script, he knew everything about. I'm like,
Well,
that's
they-
not fun for me. I'm like,
They
I want to
leaked
be
the script.
surprised.
They leaked it in 2011, and I'm obviously going to read it.
I'm not that guy. I'm like, I want to be shocked. I want to
They
be
used to do the
surprised.
same
I'm like,
thing.
yeah,
Like,
I just never thought it
Halloween
was
is
actually
gonna
going to come out.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, why not?
They're like, it's not coming out.
It'll
anyways.
never. Deadpool will never be a movie. If it does, it'll go straight to VHS.
Yeah, like I
They'd bring VHS just to put Deadpool on it.
all the big blockbusters.
But it would be in the
Man down.
it would be in the nudie section.
What was
Deadpool.
Deadpool?
Deadpool.
Is that the black bag or like the covering it so you can't see?
Right.
Yep. So, here's probably one of the most intriguing things we discussed earlier that I think anybody our age or anybody around our age is going to be pretty pumped up about. Unless you guys had anything else you want to talk about the last topic.
I mean, besides that dude being fucking super busy, I'm excited about Face Off. I'm excited
as
about
far as the
Thundercats. Yeah.
And then kill it with King Kong because you know they're gonna want to do King Kong.
Well, I know we did talk about it on
If it
the
blows up, yeah.
on the drinking episode. It's kind of the people that we'd like to see as the Thundercat
Oh,
characters.
yeah.
Like
I would still want to see
Funny
that.
how that happened, huh?
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
right.
We were just talking about, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I'd still want to see like Brad Pitt as Lion.
He still looks like it.
and,
I mean, is that de-aging thing? I don't know, but
not Drax.
They probably just get
What's his
someone
name?
younger.
Batista's getting pretty big. Maybe he could play Panthro.
Yeah.
But
He's
you
too
know,
tall.
Vin
He's too
Diesel's
tall.
He's too tall.
Vin Diesel's who I'd like to see still.
Yeah, because he's a short fella.
Yeah. I'd still like to see those two do it.
But yeah, this dude, Adam Wingard, he's a busy man, if all this is true, because right now I'm understanding Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong is killing the theaters right now. You know, I know there's not a whole lot of competition out there with the limited
Movies
theater
out,
releases and limited theaters that are open. It's doing a good job. So
Yeah.
it's good that it's doing well. So
Yeah. Whatever makes them successful to do other stuff, that's awesome.
And we'll definitely...
we will watch Kong soon. So
I'll watch it. I'm not a big fan of Kong and like Godzilla.
Yeah. Dude, we should go see it at the drive-in.
Like the last
awesome.
We all go together.
I don't know if there's any more made, but like the last
Nerd Brothers. We haven't been to the theater since...
That'd be a good, it would be a...
Was it New Mutants back in October?
Mm-hmm.
I think we definitely should go do that.
Yeah. Let's plan it.
Go see Godzilla at the drive-in. Here in California, we still got the drive-ins.
Yeah, we do. We got a couple.
It's not long ago.
They say they're going to close like every year.
Keep saying it.
They're closing.
All right. So like I was saying, super cool topic. So as you know, a few years back, Disney acquired Fox, which Disney acquires everything.
Yep, they do.
And with acquiring Fox Studios, they also acquired, obviously different, like they acquired X-Men and other IPs. And one of those IPs was Predator. And you guys remember those movies from the 80s?
Alien.
Super awesome. Then they did Predator vs. Alien. They did lots of comic books. Super popular character and story. And now that it's in the Marvel universe, it seems kind of intriguing what they could do with that. As far as, dude, I was like, what do you guys think?
I just could only imagine what could happen if you would intertwine those two.
Yeah.
If you got like a Predator, which is nothing, a natural-born hunter, going against, let's just say Spider-Man, because I always look at like Predator 2 when he's chasing Danny DeVito, Danny Glover throughout.
Well, it's like you can't say Alien because that would remind me of like Venom versus Spider-Man. I'm like, I don't want to see that.
But
Predator would be cool though.
But he's invisible. Remember when he's hunting down Danny Glover in Predator 2?
Right.
He was invisible. He just kind of blended in.
He did that on the first one too.
Exactly, but I'm talking about in the city though.
In the city,
true.
Because he's in the jungle. So I look at it like if he's in a city going against Spider-Man, how hard that would be for Spider-Man to actually fight him. I know with his spider senses.
Would his senses still go off even though he can't see him? Like, I assume they would. You just wouldn't see him though.
Sure, you can sense him, but where is he?
Yeah. Where is he?
Where is he?
That's a long one.
That's a standing ovation, damn. Yeah, like.
That's why you're here, dude.
But yeah, I just think it would be hard. Sure you might know, but
no, that would be awesome. Like I said, I don't think Alien would work because that reminds me of that's like him fighting Venom or something.
Well, Venom is technically an alien.
Yeah,
he is an alien. Yeah,
is whatever it makes it.
So Venom calls his homie like
symbiote. Yeah, symbiote. Is where I see Predator getting the most play.
Sorry.
The most play. What's this one? The most play I see Predator in is, strange enough, Guardians of the Galaxy, because he's actually from an alien planet far away. And I could see, like, Star-Lord running this dude. It's like, this motherfucker's got claws and dreadlocks, man.
Yeah,
and he can go invisible, man. And Rocket's like, calm down.
I see Rocket riding
I don't believe
little,
it.
like, tongue thing that comes out. Rocket's like, it just bites him.
He's like, wow, that is cool. That is cool. He's got a gun on his fucking shoulder.
He's gonna tilt his head. Yeah. Michael Myers like, oh my god.
He's like, we need to get one of those. Bring me his eye.
Right. I want the baby one. Like, I want the baby one.
We need to get
lasso his ankle. Bring him in.
I just think that'd be cool. That might be too comedy for Predator, but I could see them.
I think it's more making fun of him. Like,
I could just see them running into him and just being like, "That's a bad mofo right there." Rocket would love it. Like,
oh yeah,
that dude's got weapons and he can go invisible because he can cloak. Rocket just loves weapons, and he's like, yeah, we need one of those.
Because I mean, if you go with the Spider-Man, they're very similar in a sense with the Predator and Spider-Man because of sticking to walls, bouncing off the things. I mean, Spider-Man can't disappear, but I mean, I think it would be fun to see them duel. But if you want to go into cinematic theater, I think you could go with
I'm sure
the Guardians.
Stark Enterprise can help him with that, invincibility stuff.
Well, no, I
Stark
like,
Enterprise can do. He helps everything because he owns everything.
Yeah.
I like the idea of him with Spider-Man because you got to look at. We're not as bad as the DC universe. I'm not going to go start ragging on them again, but it's finding villains, man, and that would be a good villain. But I don't want it to sound too much like you said earlier, like Predator 2, fighting in the city.
But I think
it'd be obviously different. Though.
I think that's what it would have to be because I think when you bring in.
What the hell's Spider-Man going to be doing in the jungle?
You would have to bring
that's
that.
more of like a Black Panther scene, I think.
You would have to bring that movie into the MCU. You would have to. Unless you're going to go, why the hell would they be in the jungle?
Yeah, you'd be seeing Black Panther or something instead.
Well, no, it does make sense because technically the way the current Spider-Man is very similar to the Predator. They don't have superpowers; they have super suits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
they'd be a good
Treat it like Tony Stark. So the Predator, at the end of the day, he could have a Tony Stark's original. He's just a dude. He's Jean-Claude Van Damme, right?
Yeah.
That's what he was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Predator was Jean-Claude Van Damme at first.
Yeah, briefly. I heard he was in the suit for like a week on set or something like that.
He was in the suit.
Oh, he was in the suit for like a week though. He quit or something like that.
So yeah, I think you definitely got to bring Predator to.
If you had to choose one, I'd definitely bring Predator.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
You got to bring him to the city. I think you bring him to the city, and I think sure you can fight the Spider-Mans and all that, but I just think bringing him to the MCU and into the comics, I know it's just.
And yes, this is just the comics, right? We're talking about not like.
No, I think it would have to. Well, it's starting comics.
It's
starting its way.
Comics, yes.
Correct. Yeah, but I think it can weasel its way in there. I think he's a powerful enough character, a likable, a well-known enough character where he can weasel his way in. I know they have a hard enough time trying to bring in all the other villains that they have.
Yeah.
But all the villains that they're still bringing in, they suck.
Yeah.
Do you know who I could see?
This is a stud villain.
Do you know who I could see him running with, like in the comics, if he actually like did a team up? It'd be like Punisher.
Oh, that'd be bitchin'.
Yeah, because they like if you
Darker.
Yeah.
That's what they should have did initially. Fuck the Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four, which they're mentioning.
Well, it's like
Straight up Punisher.
Well, yeah, because
the only problem with Punisher is like that's like a DC character because it never works every time they try.
Yeah, and if you just bring the Predator in, it's just a straight villain.
Yeah.
Then you decrease its IP value.
Because Punisher hunting down
Criminals, bad guys.
the alien, that there.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like a dark world. Him running around just popping. That guy bouncing off.
Well, I was thinking
buildings.
of more of a team up, but it could
No, I'm thinking hunting. Because the Predator he's not a team member.
No,
He's
but
a savage
I was thinking like a team up. That's all.
Well, I would say the Punisher's not necessarily a bad guy though.
No, he's not. But we don't know the Predator's a bad guy either.
Predators.
As far as I'm concerned, or think about it, like
He's a bad guy.
He's a heel. He's a bad guy.
Yeah. He doesn't talk. He doesn't have feelings. He's out there to kill you. That's his whole
Well,
goal.
if I recall watching the movie, they came to this planet to like hunt. Like we go to Africa to kill elephants. That's all.
But he doesn't talk, so I don't know how the communication would go.
He learned how to talk in the end. They said, "Yeah,
He could be telling you to do this.
yeah." Schwarzenegger said, "Fuck you," and he said, "Fuck you too," or something like that at the very end.
I think it'd be better if Punisher was hunting him down.
Well, then that's fine, but Punisher would lose hard.
Who could he team up with if you were
He
saying
doesn't
earlier?
team up. He's not a team upper.
No, as a villain, I'm just saying.
Who?
No, Predator.
He doesn't team up with anybody. He's a one-man wrecking crew. He doesn't team up.
Well, keep him away from the X-Men because he would be a dead wrecking crew.
But the thing is, a lot of guys go in there and they fight him one-on-one. A lot of.
Well, he
Which
could-
is what you're going to
So
see.
you
You're
go
going
in
to see
there
that
and you
in the
could battle
comics.
Wolverine.
God, he couldn't even beat. God, he would lose to Storm. He'd lose to Gambit. He loses.
But we don't know his powers. We're just kind of assuming.
He's got a super suit.
Excuse me.
If you want to ever, Mike, mute your mic. You're 2.
Thank you.
You're lose 3.
Well, Batman has a super suit. We don't know that. We don't know that.
Oh, I can't wait. We're getting to DC talk.
So
super suits only mean something.
Well, he could kill anyone in DC.
Well, I guess Tony
Predator is
Stark.
a freaking alien. He just has more than just a super suit. He's a freaking alien. He's like Superman.
But we only all that we know from movies and comic books, which is everything. He's an alien in a suit with normal powers. If he was super,
he's got his gadgets like Batman or
exactly.
But normal powers, though, we're talking like it's not normal human powers. He's a freaking alien. He could have superhuman
Man, why do I
strength
gotta say
that
this?
can grab Wolverine and throw him
If you
from
got
space.
superpowers, you
He's got
don't need a
little
super
nukes.
suit.
He's got little nukes on his,
Right. You don't need a super suit if you got superpowers.
He doesn't need a super suit. He's a freaking alien.
He has a super suit.
But that's just part of his alien
So
ability.
yes, he's an alien with a super suit, but like he keeps coming back. So obviously his
'cause there's a
alien
lot of
abilities.
them.
I know, but he's not a human with a super suit. He's an alien with a super suit who's takes him from
Yeah, but as soon as his suit's off, he's got no claws, no gun, and he
he
can't
doesn't take
cloak.
the suit off. That's just his. That's
It
just
got
the way
ripped
he is.
off in both the movies.
He doesn't
He
take
can't
the suit
cloak.
off.
He can't cloak without it.
No, that's just his. That's just the way he looks.
Yeah.
It's
No,
his skin. That's
no,
his
it's
skin.
not.
That's his hair.
Man, this dude needs to watch the movies. When that armor comes off, he's just got green skin like a lizard. He's just like a green being. A being, not bean. Being.
I guess I haven't watched this. No.
Yeah.
So I've only watched.
That's
the,
all armor. That's just armor.
Oh, that I have a different perspective on him now.
Yeah, sorry. It's okay.
Okay. But yeah, Wolverine beat shit out of him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wolverine would cut through that armor and everything. Well, I mean, if Arnold can with some guns, I mean,
Yeah, Arnold did beat him.
big old Bowie knife or whatever.
He said, if it could bleed, then it would die.
Yeah.
I mean, he did
I
take
watched
out,
the
he did
first
take out
two.
like a G.I. Joe force, though. Like
That's it.
It's pretty badass. He's got my respect. More than some DC.
It'd still be fun, though. I mean, I'll be honest. Predator would kick the shit out of Batman. I'm sorry. Over.
I mean, actually, I think that'd be a good fight.
That
For the
would.
first time.
That's his first. That'd be the first one we'd say is equal.
Yeah. Because he can disappear.
Yeah, where is he? That's the whole movie. Where is he?
No, I don't think it'd be a good fight. I think he would destroy Batman. Because he could just, in the middle of combat, just disappear.
That's true.
Right?
Yep. Speaking of comics, unless you guys had anything more to say about that one.
Well, I guess the comics are coming out in November. Not an official date yet, but
Yeah, because that was the whole thing. They were just kind of in limbo with what they
Yeah,
were
we should
doing.
plug it if we're
it was
going to talk
supposed to,
about
it was supposed to come
Yeah.
out in June, July, but I guess it got moved back to November. Not an official date, but they said November.
Thank you for remembering that, Rick. So, speaking of comics and Marvel, I was like, I don't know if we should even bring this up, but I do find it kind of funny. So apparently, due to some news reports, Marvel Studios, since they've acquired the X-Men, the employees in the studio that work around the building aren't allowed to call them the X-Men. Because, you know,
So they said.
because that's like bad.
Because there's females and,
Yeah.
other mutants in the X-Men.
So, which therefore, the employees of Marvel Studios are required to call the X-Men the mutants. And I'm like, that's crazy to me.
And that's not more offensive? Or
I think it is. That's like just calling them like, hey, that's a bunch of Jews. And that's just as rude to me. You know, it's weird, and I don't like it.
Because if you're a mutant, you would kind of, in a sense, take offense to that. Because if you are a mutant, because a lot of them don't want to be mutants. They want to be known as equal to everybody else.
Right. I'm
Because
just.
being like a new mutant.
I was born
fan-
on this planet just like you, and all mutants have the human genome. It's mutated, but that doesn't mean they want to be called mutants. A cancer patient doesn't want to be known as a cancer patient. You know?
What's the thing? Like, some of them don't look like mutants or freaks or whatever. I mean, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But then you got, Beast, big blue hairy monster.
Mm-hmm.
He can't walk the streets.
No, not like that.
He can't get away with it. Wolverine can walk the streets.
But there, a lot of other mutants that choose not to be mutants. They'd rather not be mutants. Just look at the comic New Mutants.
Yeah, I would say like Beast.
None of those want to be mutants.
The guy can't walk the streets.
They don't want to go to Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. They don't want to.
Mystique, Nightcrawler, they never wanted to be that way.
Yeah. They'd rather be normal.
But she could look normal if she wanted.
But still, they don't feel normal, and they're constantly reminded by people that they're not.
No, but I'm saying you could look normal and get away with it.
But you can't, but at the end of the day, you can't be normal because of your abilities. Like, you can't have affection, you can't feel, you can't have kids,
all I'm
you
saying
can't
is
do
that
all that.
some can perfectly hide their, mutation.
Sure, if you're out having dinner in a restaurant. But if you want to feel like a human, which a lot of them do, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't love, you can't, reproduce, you can't actually be human, you can't live a normal life because you have superpowers and you're there for a reason. It's basically to save the fucking day.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weight on their shoulders that they don't want to deal with. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and if you go about just being yourself, then you're going to be ridiculed as being a mutant. So it's like almost like people being in the closet. It's like, hey man, I'll just not. Yeah. And a lot of people can't. Like you mentioned, Beast, he can't go back and forth. Nightcrawler can't go back and forth. It's just, the ones that look normal, they got it pretty well made to a degree. But even Logan doesn't like to call him mutant. He's like, hey, bub.
Yeah.
It's not exactly something I prefer to be called. So, yeah, I do. I kind of refer to kind of like people that are gay. They can't.
They don't feel accepted.
Yeah, because they feel like, okay, well, you should just shut up and not talk about it then, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I feel like what this Disney thing is saying. It's basically saying, oh, well, we'll call you mutants. Well, and they never thought for a second that might be offensive. Obviously, these are not real people, they're comic book characters, but still, I think it's a little insensitive, in my opinion.
That's like changing the Fantastic Four's name, or Guardian of the Galaxy's name, or what I mean. That's their.
It's like you're not in the galaxy. You're the Guardians of the Universe.
Yeah.
Because you're not the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like saying if you're an X-Men. I mean, if you're a woman, would you be truly offended by that? That's what I don't understand. Like, if it was called the X-Women...
There's policemen, firemen.
I don't know if I would care.
Exactly. Well, they're changing all that stuff, too.
Yeah.
Dude, they're literally saying stuff like...
What do you call them then? Firewoman?
Firewoman? Policeman. And listen, I'm not one of the first people that's all about that. I'm not like that woke, but...
It just takes longer to say.
It gets a little too far when you start doing stuff like this. And it's going too far. And we've talked about this probably, if we even want to talk about this kind of stuff on the show before, but let's just get to the point. Some of this is just too far out, man.
Yeah.
It's just too far
out. It just rolls off the tongue. It's not directed like you're only men. You're not the X-Men, like only X-Men men are allowed. That's just not it. It's just the way it was made, it's the way it's portrayed. It is what it is. Get over it. It's not offensive. It's not meant to be offensive. It's not. If you want to make it to be offensive, sure, absolutely, 100%, you can make it.
If you're offended, don't
be offended by it. But tune it out. But that's all on you, man. That's it. Man, I guess I can't even say that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like people just got to be like careful now. And you look at all this stuff, and there's a lot of ones that we watch on YouTube, and they get attacked constantly by the social justice warriors. And it's like, they assume that people that are conservative or maybe right-leaning are immediately just asshole racist people who just hate everything. Oh, you're just bad people. It's like, you guys just don't listen. You guys got your own little ideals of things, and if other people don't fit in the box, you're just bad. It will destroy you. It will cancel you. And, dude, it's gotta come to an end somehow, some way.
Yep.
So, we're not going to talk about politics a lot in here, or what way we lean. But I'll tell you one thing I will talk about is I'm not down with cancel culture.
Nah.
And I'm not down with trying to bring someone else down or dox them because which way they believe on something. Like, I have friends that are liberals. Obviously, I have friends who are right. I don't hate these people if they don't disagree with me, man. You can't.
Everybody has a right to their own opinions.
Yeah.
We all are opinionated human beings. We all have free thinkers. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever you like, you like. Be you. Whatever. But don't get mad because I think differently from you, and I'm not going to get mad because you think differently from me. That is the issue.
That's the problem
in society.
That's the issue.
We're not going to cancel you because you disagree with what I have to say.
I don't care what anyone or one of you do.
Also,
just don't judge me for how I feel about something.
And if you got a company like Marvel or Disney, you should make a whole company talk a certain way just because some CEO says that. If you got a CEO says, okay, we can't say X-Men anymore. Well, that doesn't mean everyone agrees with you.
That's like trying to... remember they canceled the WWF? I call them WWE. Mm-hmm. I still can't... I still have a hard time saying WWE.
I still WWF.
Yeah.
Well, they lost.
They have old-time wrestlers in interviews, and they'll say, yeah, back when I was in WWE, it wasn't even the WWE when you're wrestling. What are you talking about, bud? It was the WWF. And they have old 60-year-old wrestlers talking about, oh yeah, when I wrestled in the WWE, I'm like, dude, what do you mean the WWE? You were never in the WWE.
Because
the WWE then.
Because they actually said WWF, and they play, we need to redo this.
Yeah. I'm like, that's crazy.
So it rolls off the tongue for me.
Same. I still have a hard time, like I said, saying WWE.
Yeah. I would have got some kind of think tank together and wrestled with a few other WWG? WW.
EFG.
I honestly thought they were rich enough to buy out the what was it?
World Wildlife
Federation or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, go buy it, dude. Quit being cheap.
Excuse me if I just burped, sorry.
Yeah, it's like you probably got more money than them. Just go buy the name. Give it to me. I want it.
Yeah, I mean they could have just done something different, like WF.
It just sounds better.
Yeah.
WWF.
Yeah. I don't know.
WWE just sounds cheesy. Sounds like a wrestling.
You get so used to it, it's hard to change. It's I can't. It rolls off my tongue still. I have to force myself to say WWE.
After 20-something years.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how I feel with all.
But that was canceled back then, and how far it's progressed now.
Yeah,
well, it's done fine. In fact, probably done better.
Well, for
yeah, it has. Yeah.
New people to the show or kids growing up now, and it's been WWE for a long time now. I'm sure it's no problem for them.
It's been WWE probably longer than it's been WWF.
Now?
Yeah.
You think so?
Close, at least.
Yeah.
Well, you got to figure it's been WWE for 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Right? Think about it.
Yeah. We're getting old.
Right?
That's over 20 years that I stopped watching, but I still hear about it.
So if we're going to go it's been about...
But it's look, you got all these these new action heroes coming from there.
They've created
The
more
Rock,
stars.
John Cena.
They've created more superstars in the modern era than they did in the old one. So
yeah,
because that was kind of thing when we were kids. That was geeky, right?
Oh yeah.
And now it's normal. You could be a grown man. It's yeah, man, I'm watching Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
it's
well, back then you were typecasted.
For some, it's like watching Monday Night Football. No different.
Yeah.
You were literally typecast to watch wrestling back in the day.
Yeah.
You were that guy. You were that guy or you weren't that guy.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line. It wasn't you like football. That's cool. You like wrestling? It's either you were that guy or you weren't that guy.
Yeah. You're like a hell yeah or a, what? Wrestling.
What?
Nah, totally. Yeah.
All right, guys, that's about an hour. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? Or you want to wrap her up?
We can wrap her up on the wrestling.
All right.
Wrestling.
Should talk about wrestling some more.
We'll have to do a wrestling episode sometime. Yeah. We'll get that set up.
WWF wrestling.
WWF wrestling.
Not WWE wrestling.
Hulkster, brother.
Well, we can talk about some Hulkster.
Some Macho Man.
All right, guys. Nerd Brothers, episode 4. We're out.
And that is a wrap.
Peace.
That's a wrap.
Word 'em up.
Adios.